I'm Phil Brown, Operations Director at Link Integrated Security Solutions. I'm here today to demonstrate the fog guard unit using the HyperFog insert. Before you activate the unit, you should power it up and get the actual unit up to full temperature. This could take up to 2 hours. So before going to the site, it's recommended that you get it up to temperature and apply the batteries and so on. I'll just take you inside the unit itself. To expose the unit, there are 4 butterfly screws on the side of the unit itself. And this will expose the workings of the actual unit. So you will notice that there's a cartridge to the left hand side, and this will be the fog canister, or the type of smoke that you're going to be deploying. This particular unit has got the standard Purifog, and it's indicated on the front. It works on a standard bayonet, so like a hose pipe. Just push the unit in, it'll click and hold into place. So to remove, just as you would a hose pipe at home, pull the bayonet and click it into place. You'll see on the front of the unit, we've got multiple lights. We've got a green light, a blue light and a red light. When the unit is powered on the mains and the battery is connected, which is down here, you'll notice a blue and a green light. If we remove the power, as in the mains power, the unit will indicate a red light. The unit is still able to trigger even though it's got no power, because it's taking its power from the battery. It's not recommended to run it on the battery all the time because it will suck the power, and it'll probably last a couple of hours in between charges. So we plug it back in again, and once it's plugged in, you'll notice that the red light goes out. This is indicating to myself that the unit is actually up to temperature and it's got power. If the blue light and the green light aren't on, the unit isn't up to temperature and it will not trigger. So you must wait until it's up to temperature. Now the unit itself can trigger for anything up to 30 seconds. So dependent on the size of your site, you'll need to program the unit to trigger for 1 to 28 seconds. Now this is quite easy. I'm just going to unplug it just for a moment so I can spin around. On the back of the unit, you will see there's a button and a toggle switch. The toggle switch toggles between set and time. It'll be on the set. Flick the switch over to the left hand side, which is where the set time is, and hold the button for the amount of time you want it to trigger for. So if it's 1 second, you hold it for 1, 1. If you want it for 2, you hold it for 2, 1, 2. Now, the unit will indicate on the front how long you've programmed it for by the green light on the front. So I've flicked across the switch to the left hand side, and then on the front here you'll see the green light is on. I'll zoom in later. By pressing the button it'll flash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The unit is now programmed to trigger for 5 seconds. Flick the switch back from the set and it's ready to roll. And the battery on the front, if the unit isn't connected, it's just on a standard Spade Connector. So push that back in again. Okay. As long as it's got power and the trigger lights are on, we're all happy to go. Now you may need to take the front off every now and again. We get around about 8 discharges per sachet, but it just depends how long it is. So obviously the longer the discharge, the shorter amount of time the sachets will last. When you're putting the lid back on, just be careful. Make sure that there's no cables at the bottom that are hanging out, and just be careful of the connections at the top. So just place the unit, or put the housing in place, just hold it carefully, look for the holes in the side, and just screw them in with the butterfly knots. So the unit now has got a battery inside, it's ready to go, it's up to temperature because the lights are on, we've put the housing back on and we've got power to it as well. Ideally you would power it up before when charging or when triggering. It'll just make sure the actual unit itself stays at temperature. And as I said, the minute it drops below temperature, it will not trigger. So you must make sure it stays up to temperature. So just to recap, you will have the battery on, you have the power in, the front will be closed. On the back of the unit itself, we've got the toggle switch and we've got the time set button. So we flick the button or the switch across and hold the button down, 1, 2, 3, and that can be anything up to 28 seconds. Once you've finished timing it, flip the toggle switch back to where it was. The unit is now ready to arm, it's ready armed, should I say, sorry, and it's also ready to go for say 5 seconds. If you were to hold it down for 28 seconds, it will fire for 28 seconds. Just going to unplug it. Spin it around for you.